Lionel Messi has finally been unveiled as a new Inter Miami player, so his American journey has officially begun. This is the first time Messi will be playing professional football for a football club outside of Europe, and no matter how you look at it, it's a big challenge for him. But here's the thing, even though we love Messi so much and we think he's the GOAT, we still think he won't be the saviour Inter Miami are hoping he will be. But before you get your panties in a bunch, come with us and we'll tell you why Inter Miami will still struggle even after getting the GOAT. But before we begin talking about Messi and Inter Miami, we have something special to show you.
Let me know when you're closer, open up the sky for me. When you say I'll be much deeper outside. Let me know when you're closer, open up the sky for me. When you say I'll dig much deeper, I will shout.
Get your jerseys at goal90.shop. The link is in the description below.
So yeah, you know where to get your Inter Miami jersey, but as you show your support to them, bear in mind that they still might struggle even with Messi on the roster. So first of all, for those who don't know, Inter Miami are currently rooted to the bottom of the table, so on its own, it's a Herculean task for Lionel Messi. It would have been a different conversation if they were a mid-table club, but this is statistically the worst club in MLS right now. Even for the GOAT, getting this team to become a top club is going to be difficult. And yes, you might say that they've already signed some other superstars like Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba to give Messi some assistance, but these signings don't solve the club's defensive issues. One of the reasons Inter Miami are rooted to the bottom right now is because they can't stop leaking goals. And yes, Messi will score and create goals, loads of them in fact, but he won't defend or stop the team from conceding. Also, losing a lot of games does something to a team. It really ruins your confidence and messes with your mentality. Inter Miami have lost 14 of their 22 games so far this season, and while we expect that Messi joining the club will boost confidence in the dressing room, we don't think it's enough to get them out of the pit they're currently in. They're in a little too deep. As we have all come to learn, a good mentality is one of the most important recipes in achieving success as a football team. And you would imagine that a team that loses that much and is bottom of the table has the weakest mentality in the league. Messi will definitely improve their position in the table, but will he be able to get them into the playoffs? Now, that's a tough ask. You might want to say that this is a guy who dragged Argentina to World Cup success just last year, but actually it's different. Let's be honest, there are only two teams Messi has an unending passion for, only two teams he will put his life on the line for, and that's Barcelona and the Argentina national team. Any other team will have to settle for whatever version of Messi they get. You can ask PSG. Miami's case is probably even worse than PSG's because Messi has now won everything there is to win in football, so there isn't much personal motivation for him anymore. Whether Inter Miami succeeds or not doesn't affect his legacy. He's already the GOAT, so there's a huge possibility that they won't be getting 100% from Leo. At this point, Messi's mind is probably focused on what he's going to do after he retires. He's probably looking at making big business moves while he's in America to have himself and his brand set for life after he hangs up his boots. He probably also chose the US to be closer to family, so you can see that the man himself is not even that motivated to save the club. They might be in for a shocker if they put all their hopes on the GOAT being the Messiah. And hey, don't for a second get it wrong, the MLS is not an easy league like people have been saying. Inter Miami are not just going to walk over clubs because they've signed the GOAT. If they don't assemble a truly competitive team and improve their mentality all round, they will stay rooted to the bottom where they currently sit. And as we all know, it's not enough to have the best player in the world, you also need a good coach. We saw what happened with PSG. The club had Neymar, Messi and Mbappe, three of the outright best players in the world, for 2 whole seasons, but nothing really significant came out of it because they didn't have the best coaches. Inter Miami have now signed Tata Martino, and we'll be honest here, we're not so sure about the guy. Yes, the fact that he's worked with Messi twice before is a good advantage, but he's not been so successful when he coached big players. He spent one season at Barcelona, and in that campaign he lost the league title to Atletico and got knocked out in the quarter-final of the Champions League, also by Atleti. He was coach of the Argentina national team for 2 years between 2014 and 2016, and within that time frame he managed to lose 2 Copa America finals. So although Messi has worked with this guy, the GOAT's experience of playing under him has not been one filled with trophies and success. They only won 1 trophy in their combined years together, and that was the Spanish Super Cup. Even in his most recent job before Miami, Martino was bad. He took Mexico to the 2022 World Cup and was even in the same group as Messi's Argentina, and he led Mexico to their worst outing in the World Cup in 44 years. It was the first time Mexico had failed to make it past the group stage of the World Cup since 1978. So you see, he's not exactly the guy to put your trust in. He might not even know how to get the best out of Messi. So yeah, Inter Miami may have gotten the greatest player of all time to play for them, but the signs are showing that he just may not be the Messiah they are hoping he will be. But then again, this is Lionel Messi we're talking about here. With him on your team, absolutely anything can happen. But what do you think will happen? Do you agree that Inter Miami will still struggle even after signing the GOAT? Or do you think they're about to become one of the best teams in the MLS thanks to Messi? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also turn on the bell notifications so you never miss out on new content, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.